Okay, today we're making cheesecake. I've already started eating it. It is an adaptation from the cookbook by Greg Doucette, Power 13 cookbook. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Bahij Kadora. I will tag him. His cheesecake recipe, but it's heavily adapted. He was my inspiration, I will say, for this cheesecake. It's an amazing cheesecake. So let's get into it. So first we need to make the crust. I am going to put standard graham crackers. We're gonna weigh out 100 grams and we're gonna blend them. You can crunch them up in a bag if you want. These are just regular graham crackers because I've learned that if you try to mess with the crust, it makes it nasty. So just don't do it. Just give yourself a standard wonderful graham cracker crust. Then we're going to crush these up. So next I'm gonna add a touch of sweetener. This is just Swerve. You can use Splenda. And next I weighed out 45 grams of this light Smart Balance butter. Pour it in and mix it together. Around the sides and press in the crust. Press it down. I just do a little bit up the sides, like teeny bit. I'll try to show you, but I like a thick bottom. Then we're gonna bake it for about 10 to 12 minutes. Okay, next we're gonna weigh out our cheesecake mixture. We have fat-free cottage cheese, and I'm just gonna blend this all in a blender because we're using cottage cheese in part of it, so you don't want those chunks. So I would recommend blending it. I can't promise how it'll turn out if you don't. We're using a whole package of fat-free cream cheese, 100 grams of cottage cheese, fat-free cottage cheese, 130 grams of fat-free Greek yogurt. I like the Dannon. It's already flavored with vanilla and it's already sweetened. I feel like it just adds a lot. Okay, crack an egg. And we've got a tablespoon of lemon juice. We're doing a teaspoon of vanilla. 35 grams of your sweetener of choice. And then 20 grams of a protein powder. This one is birthday cake from 1UP. I really like baking with this flavor. I don't know how your cheesecake would turn out with a different flavor, but go ahead and experiment. If you have a gross protein powder, it's going to make your cheesecake gross. So just fair warning. Don't blame me if it turns out gross because you're using a nasty protein powder. This one tastes amazing. Any like vanilla, close to vanilla, I think will be fine. Once your crust comes out of the oven, go ahead and you can let it cool a little bit if you're patient. If you're not, just dump it in. It might make your crust a tad bit soggy if you just dump it in like I am. But I have been dying for this cheesecake and I am not patient. So scrape out every last bit because we're counting all of these calories. They all count. We need to get it all in. this cheesecake. Okay, important note for when you bake it. You don't necessarily need a water bath, but I do have a pan that I filled with water that I'm gonna be putting in the oven underneath it. The oven just needs a little bit of moisture in the air that'll help the cheesecake from drying out. Just a little tip I learned from culinary school. Yeah, so we're gonna bake this in 350 for 45 minutes. Okay, here is what my cheesecake looks like right out of the oven. Wobbly, it will set. Don't make your topping until that's done or else it will gel. I've frozen mixed berries and we're gonna weigh out 250 grams. Turn this on to medium and we're gonna let it simmer. Okay, while that reduces, I have 2 tablespoons of cold water and a packet of gelatin, and I'm only gonna use half of this, and you need to let it bloom. So you're gonna sprinkle half of the gelatin and let it rest. Okay, once your berries are good and mushy, you're gonna add this gelatin. Temperature, go ahead and pop it in the fridge for, I don't know, 3 hours until you can't stand it any longer and have to eat it. So wait for it first to cool and come to room temperature before you put it in the fridge. Okay, so I just got it out of the fridge. This is actually the next day. So it's been about 24 hours. You could probably eat it sooner, and I'm gonna carefully cut this into thirds because that's what the nutrition facts are. Not thirds, half and then third, that's a sixth. That's what I was doing in my mind. So a sixth of this cheesecake is 189 calories and 15 grams of protein. So, and we're gonna try it. I've been dying to eat this. Doesn't that look amazing? So good. You have a beautiful crust, nice spongy, creamy layer. Not spongy, I wouldn't say spongy. And then a berry layer. And let's see how it tastes. Oh my gosh. That is so good. That's my best one yet. This is the third one I've made actually. Because I've been perfecting the recipe. This is the best recipe. So, final recipe. Mommy. So good. Such a good cheesecake.